In Joshua chapter 3, as the Israelites are getting ready to cross the Jordan River to go and take the city of Jericho, the book of Joshua wants to tell us what time of year it was. It says it was the spring grain harvest. And you might think, well, why did God want that in the Bible? It's because he wanted to show us something very important about our God. The Jordan River is not a big river. There are many places, as it's flowing normally, that you could almost like step over it. It's not especially deep, it's not especially wide, except during one time of year. During the spring grain harvest, the waters rise, and it becomes near impossible to cross all by yourself. And yet that is the time of year that God told Joshua to lead the Israelites across the Jordan River. He didn't make it easy for them. He didn't say, let's wait until the spring grain harvest is done and the water goes down and everybody can just comfortably walk across. He waited until it was the most difficult time to do such a thing. And why? It's hard to know what's going on in the mind of God, of course. But it certainly shows us something about God. He's not afraid of a challenge. And he doesn't think his people need to be afraid of challenges either. I think it's possible that he made them cross the Jordan River at the most difficult time to cross the Jordan River, because he wanted to show them and us that our God just isn't afraid of a challenge, and no matter how hard the challenge is, even if it is at the highest level of challenging, God's people will not be overcome by it. They certainly weren't. As God miraculously piled up the waters of the Jordan River about probably 20 miles upstream, and they crossed over on dry ground, they didn't need to be afraid of it. I don't know what particular challenges you are facing right now. What's making life really hard for you? Could be a relationship. Could be finances. Could be just trying to exist in this world where everybody seems to disagree on everything. One of the signs of the times that Jesus mentioned in the book of Matthew, as he was saying, as you get closer to the end of the world, there are going to be famines and earthquakes and wars, rumors of wars. There's one in there that always catches me. He says one of the signs will be that the love of most will grow cold. People will be really cold towards one another. And that can be really challenging when people are that way towards you. Maybe the challenge you're facing is you're suddenly lonely. You had to say goodbye to someone you love, or you're about to. These things are hard, but remember who our God is. He's not afraid of the hard. He's not afraid of the challenges. And no matter how hard a challenge is, he will not allow his church to be overcome by it. And he will never be afraid to face it. And we know that because of what he faced on the cross. Harder than anything you and I could ever imagine. You think of how heavy your heart is after just one sin. When you realize that you hurt someone's feelings, that you were the one whose love grew cold. And you see the damage it did? Well, Jesus willingly carried the weight of the whole world's sins on his heart all at once. And that in addition to the hurt of a crucifixion, the nails and the whip, and everything that went along with it. And that along with the hurt of crying out to his Father in heaven and hearing nothing. How much did that hurt? we will never know. Because he's not afraid to face any challenge. He went and faced it for us so that you could know that there is nothing in all creation, nothing in this world, nothing in your own heart that is going to keep you from being with him. Our God isn't afraid of any challenge. And there is no challenge out there that is going to keep you from one day living in perfection. Rest well tonight, my friends.